So recently I did something perhaps a little bit crazy. I went ahead and bought this tool that retails for around $160. Now, if you're like me, something with just a couple of tools on it for $160 is probably way over your normal price point, but this is a special tool and I got it from Huckberry for I think it ended up being about $70 or $80 actually. So I got it for about half off. So I looked and they still do have the markdown price. I think it may still be in stock. So I jumped on that and I was very happy. I got the purchase pretty quickly actually, and it worked out really good. So what we have right here is a very unique tool set. These are magnetic. They come apart and they seem to be made very durable and they seem to be made very nice as well. So a big fan of these to some extent, and I'll tell you the negatives in a little bit. All right, so let's jump into, as far as Windler, they are based, I think in the UK, it seems to be, I believe. So Douglas Windler was actually from Dyson. He worked for Dyson's, their research and development department. And then in 2020, he launched the original Kickstarter program for this multi-tool. And then he teamed up with Becky Bindle as per their Kickstarter page. And then she handles some of the rest of the business. So pretty cool. This is their Then in 2022, 24, I guess it's maybe this year, they are adding their pliers, scissors, and then a wrap for this tool. And we'll talk about why that's so important in a little bit. Now, these tools, so first of all, Huckberry did an excellent job. So some people have had a little bit of negative reviews with this and the company, but I actually had a very positive experience. So Huckberry sent me this card as well, signed thank you card, and they did an excellent job. So I am very happy with them as a company. On my order, they did very well. Now, as far as the packaging from Windler, this tool came very nicely packaged. This is the extra stack actually that I got, and it comes with these little bands right here, these elastic bands, and then these have been in my garage, so these have been bumped around and so forth. And so then they label things right here as well. And so what you get with this is what they call this monoscale. This PO1, the FH4, and the PH2 are the four tools that you get with this extra stack. And then they go into the titanium frame locking handle. It talks about the 60 millimeter drop point blade, and then also the M8, M4 spanner, the pry bar, package opener, bottle opener, Phillips head 4mm flathead, and the Phillips head. So, and then they talk about this right here as well. Modular compact tools, and then the rest of that. All right, so let's look at the tools itself. So now I added this right here so it easily clip onto my pant belt loop. So that made it very easy to use. And then this is a very nice system right here. Very thin, the knife is, but then it locks into place, and then you just push that down and it unlocks. So very nice system right there. Again, these feel like they're made, like they're fairly well made, good quality. Now, when we come to this tool, this is the PO1, the pry tool, the large screwdriver, the bottle cap lifter, and the wrenches. I think I would use this more for a screwdriver and a pry tool. Again, the bottle cap lifter and the wrenches don't interest me that much, but as when you need a large screwdriver, and sometimes those can be hard to find, this can be fairly valuable. And so then we can put it right there. And one of the things that I really like about this is due to the design right here, these really don't come off track. So once you put these on, they fit together in such a way that you have to intentionally pull them apart. Even in my pocket, they did not fall apart. So I was pretty impressed with that as well. Then we have the really nice Phillips driver as well. So pretty cool right there. So, and then we have the Phillips on this side as well. So pretty nice. And then the that's a PH2, I guess. All right, and then we have the flat screwdriver, the PH4, or the FH4 rather. So, and that's a very nice tool as well. And they all line up and they work really good. Now, let's go into a little bit more specifics. So on Windler's website, I'll try to leave this info below the video. Again, $159 for this. Unfortunately, $189 if you want to get the knife in the LC 200N steel instead of the 440C, which is what this is in. So if you want to get a better blade steel, then the whole price of this goes up about $40. And then this, they talk about how the handle material is made out of TI6AL4V. They talk about 316 marine grade magnet shells, and then about the N52 magnets. So then they talk about how this is 95 grams and 16 millimeters thick. Now, one of the things I did notice about this is it does seem a little bit thick to me. And I think that is something that right here. So let's compare this to the Surge. Yeah, so just with a couple tools, it is a fairly thick tool. So that's one of the first negatives. It is a little bit thick. If you only need a couple tools, then that's not a big deal. But I have the pliers hopefully on the way. I have had no contact from Windler. I sent them an email and I've had no shipping updates. So I'm hoping, I did pay for them, so I hope they're on the way. But when the pliers come, that will make this even a lot thicker. So obviously some tools will probably need to go because it won't be feasible to carry them all like such. Now, one of the other issues with this was I did notice that in my pocket, these had a tendency to splay out and maybe poke or pinch or, you know, stab at inopportune moments. So what they're coming up with is a wrap that covers this, but I don't know. Again, I don't know how the wrap is. That seems a little excessive to add even more thickness to this tool. So I'm not sure if that's the best option. I had almost thought about just like some brackets to put around this, something very thin, maybe even some bands to snap around here. But I'm not sure what the best option is, but I don't know if a wrap is the perfect option, but maybe it's the best there is. So that is something also to think about. I feel like the thickness and then the handle splay and just how big it is for individual tools might be some of the negatives. I do like the quality. The cost is a little bit much as well, but again, for half price, it still seems a little bit much, $80 just for this. I hope this helps. I do like the direction of this tool, but I do think there needs to be some improvements. Maybe some of these tools need shrunk a little bit and maybe a better system needs developed, but it is cool. And I think they're going perhaps in the right direction.